Recently, rock musician Marilyn Manson has come under fire with sexual assault allegations from a number of women. Actress Evan Rachel Wood was the first to come out with allegations, saying the singer had groomed her into a sexual relationship with him starting when she was just a teen. The relationship turned violent, with many other women coming forward after Evan with similar claims. In addition to several lawsuits, the claims have resulted in an investigation from Los Angeles' Special Victims Unit, and they've just raided Marilyn's home. Join Trender as we explore what police found when raiding Marilyn Manson's home. Recently, officers of the Sheriff's Department in Los Angeles County raided a few properties of rock musician Marilyn Manson, including his LA home. The raids were the result of an ongoing investigation by Los Angeles' Special Victims Unit that has come as a result of numerous allegations made by some of Marilyn Manson's former romantic partners. While some of the alleged victims have struck the musician with lawsuits of their own, the Special Victims Unit of LA County's Sheriff Department is performing its own investigation into the matters. At the time of the raids, Marilyn Manson was not present at either location. When the officers arrived at Marilyn's home, they had to force their way in. Once inside, they thoroughly searched the premises and took a few items. Most of what the officers took consisted of various forms of media storage. It remains unclear if the authorities have gone through the devices yet and what will be found when they do. The other property of Marilyn's that was raided was an apartment he keeps in LA that's tied to many of the shocking claims of his alleged victims. According to his accusers, the musician has used the apartment to commit numerous abuses to women over the course of his career. The officers were looking for anything that might be related to the allegations of sexual assault. There are multiple women who have come forward with allegations against Marilyn Manson, though the claims of one didn't meet the statute of limitations, and she subsequently chose to remain anonymous. The others include actresses Evan Rachel Wood and Esmé Bianco, as well as model Sarah McNeilly. Of the three, Evan Rachel Wood was the first to come forward with her accusations. Evan was engaged to Marilyn Manson for a period of time, having allegedly been groomed into a romantic relationship when she was just a teen. The grooming led to a horrifying and abusive relationship that lasted for many years before the actress finally worked up the courage to step away from her rock musician boyfriend. When Evan came out with her stories, musician Phoebe Bridgers took her side, saying she had toured Marilyn's mansion as a teenager, and allegedly he told her that one of the rooms in the house was designated for committing violent sexual acts. Soon after Evan Rachel Wood came forward with her tales of abuse at the hands of ex-fiancé Marilyn Manson, another accuser came out of the woodwork. This was the aforementioned Esmé Bianco, whose acting credits include a gig on the popular HBO series Game of Thrones. Esmé is also a burlesque model. The latter title is what got her into the same circle as Marilyn, and it was only a matter of time before she ended up finding herself under the famous rock and roll singer's spell. While Evan Rachel Wood had been the first person to come forward, Esmé ended up being the first person to actually pursue legal action against the singer. Following her claim, several other women came forward with their own allegations. One of these women was Ellie Roswell, lead singer of the indie rock band Wolf Alice. According to Ellie, Marilyn Manson filmed up her skirt without her permission. Another accuser is actually one of Marilyn's former assistant, Ashley Walters. Ashley Walters followed suit with Esmé by taking legal action against her former employer, and another lawsuit later came from a woman named Ashley Morgan Smithline. Smithline was another ex-girlfriend of Marilyn's who claims the relationship was nothing like what she had imagined. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more, and stick around for more about Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson tried to get Esmé Bianco's lawsuit dismissed, but a federal judge in California denied his attempts. The actress claims Marilyn perpetrated sexual assault and battery against her on various occasions in the time period ranging from 2009 to 2013. According to Marilyn, his romantic relationships have always been consensual, and he feels these women are taking advantage of his public image as a controversial musician. With all the women who have come forward with allegations against Manson, it wouldn't be surprising if the raid performed by the LA Sheriff's Department turned up some evidence. While all the accusers' claims are unique, they showcase a similar pattern of abuse that it seems Marilyn Manson has liked to perpetrate on his victims. First, Marilyn will find his object of affection. Once he has found the woman he wants, he'll proceed to bombard her with affection and make her feel special, a tactic commonly known as love bombing. He'll then use his rock star resources to ensure his victim is properly dazzled and won't want to get away, and eventually he will ensnare them into a romantic relationship. Once the relationship is solidified, the singer will gradually reveal his true nature until the once fairy tale relationship has turned into a horrifying nightmare. The domineering singer apparently gets off on playing sadomasochistic games with those who trust him. For accuser Sarah McNeilly, she found herself won over by his charms when the singer made her feel that he understood her better than others around her. According to her, their relationship felt like love at first sight, with Marilyn asking her to start picking out wedding dresses when the two had only been seeing each other for less than a week. Sarah thought Marilyn's extreme affection was strange, but little did she realize there was an ulterior motive. She ended up going along with things for too long and got to see the dark side of the singer later on in the relationship. One of the ways Marilyn Manson has apparently liked to torture his victims is by forcing them to stay inside of a soundproof glass cubicle for extended periods of time. This is apparently called the singer's bad girls room and serves as a punishment for when one of his victims crosses the line. Before the accusers came forward, Marilyn would talk about this bad girls room in magazine interviews. However, the sadomasochistic nature of the room fit right in with the singer's controversial image, and most who read the magazines most likely assumed the singer was talking about something he was doing with consenting partners. Many of the allegations against him also involve physical abuse beyond the aforementioned forced isolation. Sarah McNeilly said there was one time when Marilyn pushed her up against a wall with a baseball bat in his hand and said he was going to use it to smash her head. Esmé Bianco has also recalled moments of physical abuse that she received from Marilyn, recalling a similar situation to Sarah, but with an axe instead of a bat. Other forms of physical punishment that Esmé has alleged Marilyn inflicted upon her include electrocution and sleep deprivation. She shared Marilyn would joke freely about committing sexual assault against her during the beginning stages of their relationship. According to the actress, she had taken the remarks with a grain of salt. She found herself incredibly surprised when Marilyn actually turned out to be an abusive person later on. Beyond the sexual assault allegations, there are also rumors that Marilyn Manson is problematic in other ways. The singer has a history of using the N-word, even using it in the title of one of his songs on his debut album. While that kind of behavior may have been tolerated in the 90s, Marilyn would have a hard time getting away with naming one of his songs such a thing today. The musician also apparently has a fascination with Nazi memorabilia, though like his bad girls room, this has always fit right in with his general aesthetic. Marilyn has also used Nazi imagery in his music videos, but generally in the context of rebelling against it. In the wake of these numerous sexual assault allegations, fellow problematic artist Kanye West invited Marilyn to collaborate with him on the rapper's latest album. Kanye may have received controversy in the past, but none of his controversies match anything like the tale of Marilyn's bad girls room. If the investigation ends up finding evidence that Marilyn has been a serious sex criminal this whole time, Kanye might have regrets about including him on his album. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Marilyn Manson's accusers are telling the truth? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Trender if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.